everybody. It's day 2 of CAMHPRO Live 5 and 5. We were out in Chico last night at the Cozy Diner talking to some folks and driving around in our CAMHPRO super 5 and 5 van that we're using from Escape Camper Vans. I just wanted to say hello and good morning, and I hope you join in today, this afternoon at 2 p.m. We're going to be on at Judy's house, a great service out in Susanville in Lassen County, and part of our Superior Region tour. And so I hope you join us then. We'll also be out in Susanville. So if you're around that area and you want to catch up with us and meet up with us in Susanville, look for our van, and we'll be at a surprise location that we will announce this afternoon after our live event at Judy's house. Thanks for tuning in and keeping with us. Just keep following us, and you know, I'm going to keep doing these logs, and as well as our team. We really want to just get to know y'all and hope you get to know us, and have a great CAMHPRO Live 5 and 5. Thanks.
On our way up to Lassen County, following behind the van, 5 and 5, peers across California. That's right.
Hi. Welcome to Judy's house.
Awesome. Thanks for having us.
For sure.
Let's see. Let's start this way. Is this one of the
It's a quiet room.
quiet room?
People
Okay.
that want to spend time in their room. There's a TV in there. There's books.
That is such a cool light switch. We are at Judy's house right now in Susanville, California.
And then there's a full basement underneath, but it's really got storage in it and the heaters down there.
Oh, nice. That's the other thing that's
Before
nice.
you go back there, Francis,
Yeah.
there's a big buck back there.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah. So
Is that good?
If you get too close to him, though, he's gonna feel trapped because he's in the corner.
Okay.
So if you just stay back on the sidewalk and as long as he keeps laying down, he's good. But if he stands up, I would just
Okay. Should we
come
go?
back up.
Are we okay to go see?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. We're gonna go see the buck outside.
You know, I was gonna wipe off the furniture outside, and I was getting ready to do it, and he was standing right next to me as close as Andrea
Oh,
is.
wow, okay.
And he jumped up, and I realized he's trapped there. I mean, he can get out. There he is. You might be able to get it from here.
Hi, buddy.
Oh wow. This is Judy's house, Susanville, California.
All the little, we had 3, I thought I saw a baby. We had 3 does, or fawns. The year before we had 2, and I think the year before that we had 2.
That's so awesome.
Actually, 3, 3, and 2.
They can tell it since
They do, the animals know. It's just cool.
Everyone's saying, beautiful buck, love the nature setting of Judy's house. Such a beautiful space. All right, so I missed the tour. Do you want to walk me around? And we have we're on live right now on Instagram.
Oh, okay.
Do you want to introduce yourself on here?
Yeah, hi, I'm Andrea Hernandez, and my husband and I are the managers here at Judy's house, and we love it, and we're excited to show y'all around.
Awesome. We're happy to be here. Look at
Come on in.
such a great start.
So, we've got food in the fridge for our clients and the freezer. We've got chips and snacks, whatever they might need for the day. And this I really love. We have a client that she's been watering these plants for 2 years from little seeds.
Oh my goodness.
So she has to come in every day to water her plants. It's a big deal to her. So this one, and we even broke some stuff off and made spaghetti, and then put the basil in the spaghetti with her, and this is cilantro. We used some of that too. Yeah. And then those are my plants.
So is this tell me more about Judy's house. Is it like a day program? They just come in for the day?
Well, we open from 4 to midnight, and then midnight to 8, so we're open 16 hours.
Okay.
And we have the clients that come in during the day. They do art projects if they want to. They watch TV if they want to. Maybe if they come in crisis, we're here. If they need someone to talk to, we're here. Some of them have hard time socializing. So that's why they're here too. They're learning how to be around people that care, and it really helps them a lot. So, but this is one of the rooms right here.
Hi, Danny.
It's kind of our office / whatever we need to do, possibly with a client. It's just comfy and cozy.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love all the
And then
details.
these are just little closets.
So even though you guys have hours, do people ever come in like on the off hours looking for services?
No, what they do is we send them to Crossroads, so everybody knows from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. they go to Crossroads.
Okay.
And they can do laundry there, they can shower there too, so it's not like they're without. They have support there, and other people that care too. And some of them
Great.
will go here and there. So, yeah, we've got the old L-shaped bathroom in there.
But
No, not at all. Whatever you need to do is fine.
it's
I love
wonderful.
all these little built-in dressers.
Yeah, like the fall. This house is amazing.
Yeah. And then this is the quiet room.
Yes,
I was
yeah.
telling Andrea about it. Is we have clients that need some space sometimes that don't have much space at their place. They need some quiet, and we let them come in here and lay down. They can sit down. They can read books.
Good. And they have a window.
And the beautiful view out there. I'm sorry. Okay.
So this is Judy's house in Susanville, California. This is their safe space.
Living room.
There's stuff in there to eat on the table too.
It's very homey.
We just maintain the sandwich and
Plenty of books everywhere.
Where'd you stop, please?
Copper kettle. Copper kettle.
You guys mind introducing yourselves over here? Let's see.
My name is Mike, Judy's house manager.
So
I'm Sherry, case manager, behavioral health,
awesome.
here.
Victor Delgado, here to support.
Yes, awesome.
Danny McGee, Pure Consumer. I work for CAMHPRO.
Beautiful.
Hey, everybody. Director Andrea. The second Andrea in the house.
2 Andreas today. All right, so we're going to turn the live stream off and carry on with our videos, not live. Thank you all for joining in today, 5 and 5 Live. Maybe we'll see you guys in a bit. Bye for now.
My opinion, what part of the behavioral health and the connection with Judy's house is our ER is very small, and it's not designed to have this huge flow of individuals being stuck at the ER when we know how peers work with other peers and how effective that is, and how we can get them to Judy's house and they have a safe place to be in the middle of the night or at any given time that Judy's house is open. And Judy's house is open from 4 p.m. to 8 a.m. when behavioral health closes at 5 p.m. You know, those kinds of things. And so basically to keep that flow of traffic when possible out of the ER and get them the peer support that they need. Because even if they don't meet criteria at the ER, then what? Then they get released to the parking lot, then what? You know what I mean? So the idea is to be able to make that warm handoff, that connection to Judy's house, so that we can, you know, let people know that they're not alone and there is a safe place to be. So that's just my, that's what I understood.
And we pick them up, we pick them up.
Actually, from the hospital.
They actually have some beautiful RNs that will transport the client to here and ask us, hey, you know, and I want to share something that I want to share a little story with you that with Judy's house opened my eyes to change my direction of my life 100%. We got a call from Highway Patrol, and the Highway Patrol says that they have a 85-year-old lady driving around in a van for 4 days, just going around in circles with dementia and bad diabetes, heart problems. And instead of taking that lady to jail, she had no license. They were drinking and driving, and she wasn't, but her pastor was. They had all kinds of beer, and we brought her here to Crossroads Ministries, where it's a shelter, and this lady was driving around, urinating and defecating on herself. Nobody to help her. The guy took off with the money, did what he did, and we brought her here to Judy's house. And she stayed here for 48 hours. And I want to tell you this, me and my wife have 6 other staff, and not one staff complained about overtime, money, anything. And I'm going to tell you what opened my eyes. We have a gentleman that works here that has 2 amputated legs. And when this lady came in here, she had a wound in her leg. And Jacob took off his legs and sat right there where my wife was at and cleaned her wounds. And that's what opened my eyes to what Judy's house can be even more. And I'm gonna tell you, we have clients that come through here that change our direction in our lives, man. We try to be the person that's changing their lives, and they change our lives, right? And it just makes us a better person. The director here is named Sherry Farrell, and Sherry Farrell is a loving, kind person that if I could be like anybody, I would be like her. And that's just how beautiful a person she is. And she lets me and my wife and do what we need to do here for whoever comes through here. And we get people that come through here on drugs, as long as they're not belligerent or invading anybody else's space here, or they're quiet in time or what, they can stay. But as soon as they become belligerent or too much, they got to go. And the whole place is a safe place, and that's the way we keep it. We don't tolerate all that. We don't tolerate. But a lot of people come in here for a water, burrito, and we feed them, and we feed them. And a lot of times they might not have socks or shoes or something. We take care of that. And the whole part about it is, if we don't have it here, we're going to Walmart and we're buying it. And that's just what we do. But it's a safe place, a safe environment. We're underneath the mental health umbrella. We're mandated reporters. And the whole part about it is, I just think that, I got to say this, I believe God put the crew that I have right now together. And that's all I can say. It's not a coincidence. It's God doing what he does. And it's just a beautiful place, man, you know. I've been incarcerated for long term, and I tell you this, I never thought my life would ever change around where I cared about something like this. And I do. You know what I mean? So, yeah.
I get the feeling that the new person is just as important as the regular.
Correct.
Okay.
We don't, nobody,
No
there's
favorites.
no favoritism. Well, I want to be honest, there might be one client that comes in here because she's there every day and we love her. So
I was gonna say, is it the lady with the plants? Yes.
I want to be honest, but it's we have a book here with all our staff, and that's the our directors in there and just things about Judy's house that we've done. But,
It really
This is-
feels like family when you're talking in the house and just everything. It feels like you're home. Like
yeah,
it's
just-
really a house.
that's
a
what we
home,
try to
you
do,
know?
you know, I mean,
Yeah, the little deer are in there too.
you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, I mean, we could go in the backyard and shoot a deer out, but our director says, hey, let them have their land, you know, it's-
That's their space too.
Yes.
They feel safe here
Yeah.
too, huh?
You know,
And we
Which-
have one-eyed Willie, the cat.
Yeah.
He's
yeah.
out there too. You might see him. He's only got one eye.
That's beautiful.
Awesome.
Now you got the deer right on the front.
We usually take that book to our outreaches, you know.
Very cool.
Yeah.
That's wonderful. Yeah, and I don't know if you guys know, I mean, what CAMHPRO is. I just assume people know, but you might not know what we are. All of us have lived experience. Everyone that works for us has lived experience, and we advocate for peer-run organizations. So, you know, we don't do a lot of direct service. We do have a CAMHPRO program in Chico, so we do like groups through, you know, Butte County, and some of them are online, you know, and available. But most of what we do is kind of that higher level of like, how do we support all these counties and all these people doing this work, you know, and how can we advocate on a state level for policies, or even on a county level for policies that'll, you know, help us to continue what we do. Because like you're talking about, like I think all of us have experienced that wonderful awakening of like what this could be and how beautiful it can be to really just bring someone in and just love on them and just be with them, you know, and how, I mean, yeah.
To feel like you belong is priceless, huh?
Yeah, I mean, it is. I mean, I feel I belong, and I have to be honest, I never felt like I belonged until I came to Susanville. And you know, keep it real with you guys, you know, I'm a long-term offender now, you know, 37 years, and the whole part about it is I never thought ever any of this would take place, you know, and now, you know, we have men walking around here with their heads up that didn't know that this was possible, and because I can do it, they can do it, and it's a good feeling, man. It's a good feeling to love and hug and hey, God bless yous and eat together, and they're hungry, I feed them, and vice versa, they feed me with their lived in experience, you know. But like my buddy says, you know, the thing that separates all of us is we are experts, man, and lived in experience. We are experts. You know, when I fill out a job application, I put expert on my job application. They can ask me the questions later, but we're experts that live in experience. So when we come together as a chain, man, there's nothing we can't solve. Nothing.
Praise
Not
God.
been there, done that. You know, that's what you're gonna hear.
That's true.
You know.
Yeah.
So yes.
Nothing beats lived experience, that's for sure.
Yeah.
I love it when I'm sitting with an individual and they say, what do you know? You've never been there? And I said, well, thank you. I'll take that as a compliment. However, yes, I have.
You know. It's,
But that just goes to show you how it works, you know what I mean? These social model things and these peer things and how they do work, you know what I mean? I'm a huge advocate for the 12-step communities too. I'm a real big advocate in Alcoholics Anonymous and the things that I do in the community as far as that goes, you know what I mean? And so, you know, it's all about another individual with the shared, you know, those shared experiences working with another individual. That's what it is. Because a lot of times there isn't a lot of answers, right? It's just about knowing that you're not alone. You know, I don't have the answers for you, but I'll walk alongside you and we'll figure it out together.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's really what it's about. Yeah, don't come to me for answers.
Yeah.
My best thinking got me right here.
And now this is the type of place that you can come and chop it up with Mike or whatever, you know.
You know.
Something on your mind, rolling thoughts, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
We always have a male and a female on site too, you know, so that if there's a female having an issue, you know, I'm here, he's there for the male, or both of us, you know, it just depends. We've had clients come in that are suicidal, and we're able to help get them that help and listen. And also we've had domestic violence cases come in where they're in a bad situation and we need to refer for them and get them the help and keep them safe.
And we have the staff that are here. We have a male and female every shift, and the reason we have male and female is because we're pretty strong about letting the female deal with the female and the male deal with the male. But if they want to come in here and talk to both male and female, then it's okay. But we try to keep them grounds sacred right there. And hey, look, you know, I'm not, you know, and that's what we do. But it's a lot. We get a lot of people that just want to be heard, and sometimes you can't even understand what they're saying because sometimes they're under the influence, right? But they know they're being heard, you know, and that's a big thing around here. Some people come with their heads down and leave with a smile. Right when they check into that door, they feel a different spirit in here, and that's what we try to promote, you know. But I do want to emphasize something on the director, Sherry Farrell. That was one person that when I got out, I had a little tiny chip on my shoulder. Well, maybe a big one, but I said nobody's going to want to hire me. You know, I'm unhireable, and I had education. I had all this stuff. I was teaching drug and alcohol classes out there in the prison, and the whole part about it is she was the one who told me, hey, I'm gonna give you a job. And she never questioned where I came from, never. She said, I know that God gave me you. What did she say to me?
She said, I'm glad you went through all you went through so you could be here with us today.
You know, and that was a big change. That was a huge mark in my life that had changed.
Big
The
weight
little
off your
trash,
shoulders.
yeah, the little trash I had, I threw it out, man. I said, you know what? I'm not gonna bring this trash to this
I don't
lady's
need this
office.
no more.
Yeah.
Can I ask how long ago was that? How long have you been with Judy's house?
Almost 3 years.
3 years.
Over
Well,
3 years.
You know,
now.
over 3
Yeah.
years now. And it just seems like yesterday, but you know, you know, she made me and my wife managers, and there again, you know, I'm being honest, you know, I wanted to be the manager, and she made me and my wife because she said, you know what, you guys are a good team, and that's my teammate right there, and we accomplished a lot of stuff, man.
His
We did a lot of stuff
perspective and
done.
mine go very well together.
Yeah,
Compliment each other.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
you know, so
Were you inside here?
yeah,
In Kuzuma?
yeah, high desert. Yeah, I've been here pretty much everywhere. 20-something years in Pelican Bay. Shoot, you know, so yeah, I've been, and for people that know me now, they don't even talk to me like they used to talk to me. They talk to me respectfully now, I think, you know, and loving and kind, and I give it right back, man, because this is who I am. I'm not being a phony or a fake or a fraud. I'm done with that life, man.
you're a role model.
I've been that phony.
Yeah,
I've been that phony one.
yeah,
Listen to all the lies.
yeah, yeah.
Another thing I'm thinking of
You-
too is, excuse me.
I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. Another thing that Judy's house does is outreaches in the community, and a couple of years ago we had a lot of fires going on, and I can't remember what else happened, but a lot of people are out of their homes, their pets, and they're all up at the college on the lawn, and Judy's house went up there just to talk with them and just hear how they're doing, and you know, it was really touching to get to be there for that, and then Greenville and Westwood.
Yeah, Greenville got
Yeah.
burned down, and we just decided that we're gonna go over there and feed them. And there's people coming out of the bushes that were camping because their homes have been burned down. They said, we thought you guys forgot about us. We said, we ain't forgot about you. But
A
them
year
are the kind
later
of
we
things,
went. Yeah.
them are the kind of things that our director lets us do and go. And then she trusts in us, and you know, Judy's house it has a good name here now. I'm gonna keep that.
In Westwood too, we just started doing
Now
that.
in we're in Westwood right now too. We're going up there and feeding Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays because they don't have nothing up there. Westwood is just isolated, doesn't have really. Susanville looks like a big, huge, rich city to Westwood.
Small
And
population.
the whole thing is about it. You see the people coming in there. We feed the director. She cooks homemade food Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, and we feed. And you should see the people that are coming in and appreciate it. Their mentalities have changed. They even button their top. You know what I mean? We're reaching out to them, and it's changed, man. It's just changed me. You know what I mean? Right when I thought I was good, I'm full, but I wasn't full. It's changed me. So
Is Judy's house staffed 24 hours a day?
no, Judy's house is just staffed from 4 o'clock to 8 o'clock in the morning, and we have 2 shifts. We have a 4 to 12 and a 12 to 8.
Okay.
Yeah.
And when Judy's house is closed,
Behavior Health is open, or Crossroads Ministries is open. If you want to eat or hang out over there, you can. And it's the same director as far as Crossroads Ministries. She's the same director as here.
So that's a cool break in that time of the day. You can handle doctor's appointments, you know,
Correct.
whatever, all
And then
that.
we have different shifts, like me and my wife work one week we'll work 3 days, the next week we'll work 4 days.
Yeah.
And then the other staff vice versa, you know what I mean? But
And we
it
have
works out.
amazing staff that have their own stories in the community and can really identify with some of our clients, and we get to help. Judy's House gets to help them have jobs and helps us have jobs too, and start your life over. And it's just a good beginning for some, and some of them we still have here. So, yeah.
And you know, it's a lot of our staff all our staff are believers. You know, all our staff believe in God, man, and all our staff have been changed through God. So that's where we got good. That's where we're giving back. What He gave us, we're giving back, and it's sometimes you want to dump it and give it all back at one time, and God doesn't allow you to. He gives you a little bit at a time, man. But a little bit at a time changes people's lives and directions. You know, me and my wife teach a drug and alcohol class and an anger management class at Crossroads, and you know, sometimes, you know, people don't like it. People don't like the homeless. They feel the homeless are doing all the crimes, right? And the bottom line is, you know, when I went to a board meeting, I said, hey, I'll bring my staff, I'll bring the clients that are in my class that you guys said are the worst of the worst and the homeless, to teach you guys some skills. Because and as long as you listen and they listen to you, as long as they know you're connected and it's the life lived experience. If I were to went in there with a suit, no tattoos, and said, hey, I'm here to teach this, they're gonna say, hey, we're not gonna listen to you. You know, you're gonna live that life, and that's where the change comes. And I think Judy's House, where we get our strength from, is the support from behavioral health, from everywhere. We get support from everywhere. We really do. You go to the hospital emergency rooms and you mention Judy's House, and they love us. We were just there last night, and they were saying, hey, it's good to see you, and you know what I mean. It's not good to see you in the hospital, but good to see you.
Yeah.
You know, but I wish this house could duplicate itself and take it everywhere. That's what people need.
Do you think that there has been a change in the amount of people, like, you're bringing people from the ER here a lot, right?
Mhm.
So do you think that affected, because before that, what would happen if someone was in the ER?
Be on the
before
streets.
this?
They'd just be on the streets cold. If they were walking on the freeway and car broke down or drunk or whatever, right?
Yeah.
They'll take them to the emergency room. When they take them to the emergency room, after their few hours, and then where do they go? They're hungry. Some are barefooted, man. Some are cold, snow, right? This is where they come.
Right.
And we got an
Because you
open
get
line.
pretty fierce winters out here, right?
Yeah, and we got a pretty good line of communication now we have with behavioral health now, that we can get people and refer them straight to behavioral health. You know, you want help? Okay, we got help for you.
Yeah.
You know, so the community here is amazing. I
And you
love the
don't
city.
deny people to come back, right? Like
Nope.
they can come back
Nope.
as many
As long
times.
as,
yeah.
well,
As long as they're
I want
being-
to say this, I hate to say this, but I have a little list of people that can't come in here. And the reason they can't come in here is because they go to that restroom over there and lock the door and do their drugs in there, and that's not allowed here, period. I catch you, you're gone, right?
Right.
No
You have to have
tolerance.
some boundaries, right?
No tolerance.
Yeah.
So,
Sometimes they're just out for 30 days,
You know, sometimes
they
they're out,
learn
you know
their
what I mean?
lesson, and they are sorry for their behavior or whatever, so.
you know,
But
we
it's
get
not
people.
like you're like counting
No,
the clock and
no.
like, oh, you
No,
know.
we don't,
Yeah, no.
we don't do that, or we make them feel
Yeah.
uncomfortable. Because I'm gonna tell you right now, I have people that try to come in here that are out because they disrespected staff or disrespected somebody. I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll sit them at this table right here and I'll feed them before they go. And that's what I do. I don't, you know.
Yeah.
But you have some people that don't respect places like this. And
What's your relationship like with the local police?
good.
Good.
Yeah, we have officers that call us all the time to bring people right here.
Yeah, I wonder if they're like homegrown, the police force.
I really
Because
don't.
that
I don't.
community,
Hard to tell.
this is that cohesiveness that I talk about. The rural community, the rural
Yeah.
counties. That's what attracted me to the rural counties is the.
But I can't answer your question about the police law. I would defend them 100%. I'll tell you this. We've had a person that was in a men's program that OD'd. And it was my first, not my first OD, but my first OD out here. And I'll tell you this, I've seen people, officers treat bodies, just bounce them down the stairs, throw them inside the morgue, whatever. This is just another drug addict, wherever. But I tell you this, I've seen these police come and respect the body. I've seen them come and ask us if we needed any help or anybody to talk to, man, to call them. And everybody, and I tell you, there's like 8 officers in Crossroads that said, hey, I'm sorry for your loss, and they meant it. And watery eyes too, so I could say that for them, I applaud them, man, and I tell you, that's my relationship with them, you know?
Yeah, like it speaks to me, you know, somebody breaks down, they've been drinking, they're walking on the highway. Where I come from, they're not going to the hospital, they're going straight to jail.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So that's why I think they're community grown, you know.
Yeah.
I just want to ask this just because it's something that, you know, I'm always trying to fit the bigger picture and everything, and I know that's not everybody's cup of tea, but we did a lot of like listening sessions on the Modoc right next door, right? And then one of the things that really came out of that was that in these communities, we're not looking to have the police come and solve everything. We're not looking for the government to come in and solve it. We want to solve it ourselves in our community, and that's where the focus was, which was very different from some of the urban areas that we were in and talking to people. Do you think that's a fair assessment of like, you know, when you're, because I grew up in a small area too, and that was kind of my impression too, is like we're going to handle what we can handle in our community. We don't need, you know, necessarily, you know, a big hospital or somewhere else to take people. We can handle it within our community like you're talking about.
Well, I believe all the agencies here, I believe they handle more than people know. Because this is a small community. And there's a lot of homeless people and there's a lot of people with mental health issues here. And I have to praise behavioral health and the housing because we have a personal relationship with them. And I'll tell you this right now, they go out of their way, man. They go out of their way to help people. And the whole part about it is that's like you're saying, they're trying to solve the problem right here. But here in Susanville, we need our officer support because you know, you're gonna find bads wherever you go.
Well, and it takes the burden off of them.
Correct.
Too, for us to be here at Judy's house, you know.
Right.
They
But
don't
they
have
gotta
to take them to jail. They can come here and be loved.
Because there's no benefit for an adversarial relationship in a small
Right.
community. There's no benefit to anyone to have that, right?
You know, but they have. I always have a famous saying. I tell the guys, man, or the women, hey, what the excuses are over. What you gonna do?
Yeah.
Because this is I mean, housing might be slow to get a place, but I'll tell you one thing: when people have patience, they get their house. You know, some are so close to getting a house, and you know, that they don't feel that they deserve it. They don't feel that they can handle a house. You know what I mean? And they mess off their interview just to be on the streets because they know the streets better than a house. You know, there's a lot of that. There's a lot of that here, and they come here, and I tell them, hey, no, this is why you want a house. This is why you want a house. This is why, and these are the resources. There's a lot of resources here in Susanville. There's a lot of help. Excuses for people to say, I can't get help. It's just an excuse. Because there's a lot of people here that, and I'm going to say it, there's a lot of people here that will love on them like they've never been loved. Because that's the kind of resources we have around here in the agencies.
Is there work for peers in Susanville?
I really can't answer that. I don't.
In the professional realm?
Sure, in the peer movement?
Yeah, I can't really speak to that either, you know what I mean, there's, and just like Mike was saying too, I say this all the time when I'm working with other people, like, we are a very small community, and our resources are extremely limited, but what we have is definitely adequate and powerful in our partners, and we all work together, you know what I mean, but it does take a little bit of everybody, right, that village, and I think we do, you know, work really well together. But then again, you know, sometimes over here we only got a couple people, you know what I mean? So there's you know, I don't know about the movement for that or whatever. But
I have a couple questions, and maybe you guys can fill me in. One is about peer certification, the other is about hospitalization. And so about peer certification, I know you guys are interested in that right off the bat. You're, you know, coming to some of our webinars on peer certification. How's that going? Like, you guys been certified? Are you guys able to, get the billing? How's that going? Or is it not?
Well, I can say for us, we're pursuing, but I can say this, when we first started doing the Zooms, right, there was a lot of confusion. There was a lot of confusion. There wasn't a clear path for us to understand what it really was or what it really takes to, we started signing up, and then there was a lot of confusion, right? So once I started getting confused, we kind of like backed up a little bit and made all our strong points strong, and suicide prevention, all these certifications that first aid, all this stuff. I went ahead and got out of the way, but we are very interested in doing what we need to do to get our peer support certifications, and that includes my staff, because if we're going to do it, we're going to do it all. We're all doing it as a team.
I'm your man.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, no, that's really good.
Yeah.
Here, I just was curious because, we're following it up as it progresses, and, one county's gonna have a different experience than the next, right? Because I don't know if the county, do you know if there's.
So back in 2016, I think if my dates are right, I was part of a 13-month, right? We met once a month for 13 months, 4 times in Eureka, 4 times in Ukiah, and 5 times in Red Bluff. Donna Matthews was the go-getter, right? And so I participated in that, and then that's just what I did. And I didn't know too much about it, because like I said, I tend not to learn about what's really going on. I just want to work, work in the trenches, And so I never really know what's going on, really, like to articulate what's, I just know I participated in that. I got my hours, I did that. And then this year, Tiffany sent me something about getting grandfathered in, right? And I'm like, I don't want to, it's too much work, right? Well, I did the work, and I'm certified.
Yay.
I'm a peer support specialist through CAMHPRO.
Yeah, I think
So.
you took the CASRA training before the CAMHPRO training.
CASRA training,
Yes,
yes.
I took the CAMHPRO one with Donna Matthews right after that.
Right?
Yeah,
Yeah. CASRA, that's the word that I remember. Yeah, for sure.
Absolutely.
So I did that this year, so I am, but I think but for me, I feel like I'm blessed to be where I'm at today, and that's one, I am an employee and I'm a case manager, but I also get to use my peerness in my work, right? And that's pretty rare in that professional realm, where I always felt like, shared experiences, talked about and stuff like that. Well, wherever I go, there I am, and that's all I have, right? Because I don't have that education. I don't have that. I'm not sitting on an AA or a bachelor's or a master's or anything like that. I'm sitting on lived experience. And what I have is my experience. And so when I work with somebody in my job, I'm a peer. I'm a peer, right? And it's working on that. Like, one of the things I have to remember is that appropriate level of self-disclosure. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Those kinds of things, because I'll just get right into it. We'll just get right into it. So I've always worked in my brain, and I know who I am, and in my heart, I've always worked as a peer. You know what I mean? It's hard for me to morph into that. I never give myself credit for being a professional, but I know I do it, but still, I'm a peer.
An expert.
You know what I mean?
I'm really
I'm
curious.
a
I would
peer.
love to ask you a couple questions about that, because I did that myself. I trained as a peer, wanted to be a peer, but the only way I could get to full time was to become a crisis counselor and a case manager. So I did that for a while, but I still tried to do all the peer stuff. And there is that fine line of being a peer, but also working as a counselor. When do you disclose, when it's appropriate?
Yeah.
And I think it doesn't change too much if you're really well trained in that about disclosure. But a lot of peers say, well, you can't be a case manager and do peer stuff. But you're saying that's what you do.
Well, and I was a case
Yeah.
manager first, right? And I don't know anything about this being a peer, but that's just what I am naturally. So, you know what I mean? So it was really learning, you know what I mean? Really learning that. But I was already, I really was already working the way I already worked. That's just the way that it was. It's really hard to take me out of the equation. You know what I mean? It just works like that. And I think that's one of the benefits also about being in this rural community. And when I got here because I was a client at alcohol and drug. That's how I got here. I had delivered a baby, tox positive methamphetamine. I'd just gotten out of prison. I was on parole. had a big fat CPS case, you know? And so when I went to school, I came back and I volunteered. And I never left, and that's what I kind of joke about that, but it's true, I never left. And so, back then, I've been with the county for 16 years now. So back then, it was this little natural progression, and the people that, I owe everything to the director, Tiffany Armstrong, like everything. Anything I've ever done, she's pushed me to do. Because she sees in me things that I don't see in myself, right? And I would have never finished the certification thing, because it required me to like write some letters and track down my high school grades, my transcripts, right? Like I had to do some work to get to take that test, but I took that test and I passed that test and I did it. You know what I mean? Those kinds of things. So, to have her to see things in me, and she was the one that had us go to the 13 months of training, the CAMHPRO trainings. You know what I mean? There was a reason for that. I didn't know at the time. I really didn't. I was like, okay, I'll go out of town. I'll go out of town every month for 2 days. All right, you know what I mean? Eat some really good food, hang out with some really cool people. You know what I mean? And then, so what is it? 7 years later, here I am. Now that's what that was all about. That's kind of where I am too. Like I'll figure something out like in 10 years from now.
But there's a lot of, like she's saying, there's a lot of, her and my wife are certified drug and alcohol counselors also, with certification. And I'm going to school right now for it. The whole part about it is, the whole part about it is that it's just a bunch of education, man, that comes in, man, at the right time. It's just knowing the little bit of stuff that you need to know. Yeah. And goes a long ways, because some people just want to know a little bit. They don't want to know a lot. Right. You just want to know, hey, do I turn right or left here,
Yeah.
And it's good when you can tell them for sure which way to turn, instead of just being, instead of lying and saying, hey, I don't know, turn right or whatever. But there's a lot that goes on here, and this community is really, I hope that we get funding. I hope we get more funding. I hope they don't take nothing away from us. But I tell you one thing right now, if they do, it's not going to change us. It's not going to change this place. Yeah. It's not.
You know what the cool part about it is too, and this just kind of came to me, and I don't know why I've been led to disclose this, but that little girl that I gave birth to, that was tox positive, that walked through the walk with me or whatever. She'll be 20 years old in December, and she's a correctional deputy inside our jail today. You know what I mean? And so when she goes to work, she talks to people because she grew up in the recovering community. She grew up in the recovering community. She knows what it's about. She's watched me, she grew up in AA. She grew up in those things. She never had to see me use, but she saw me go through a very toxic, abusive marriage. And so she saw that part of it. So when she goes to work every day, she gets to talk to those people. She talks to them. And she said it blows her mind how they respond to her, because they never had anybody listen to them before as an inmate in the county jail. You know what I mean? And that is her exposure. That comes from her exposure to exactly what we're talking about. Her lived experience as an individual, like a child, a baby and a child that was drugged through things. That's her lived experience, and now she gets to use her heart and her, you know what I mean, to spread kindness and love that way, and let people know. And she gets to say, there's Judy's house over on Nevada Street, and she gets to say, go see my mom. You think there's nobody here to help you? That's not right. Go see my mom. You know what I mean? Like, she says those things, and it's that linkage, it's that bridge that we're building because of these things, this peer movement and stuff like that. So yeah.
It's not just us, it's our children, it's our
and it's breaking those, breaking those cycles and breaking those chains so that we can, so that we can grow healthier communities, and stuff like that. So that's huge. That was a big piece for me, for her to be able to have that. Yeah.
Keep that.
Absolutely.
Creating that cohesiveness.
Yeah.
So important.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And the other thing too, you just answered the phone, but we have a warm line here. We call it at Judy's house, where or dispatch will, I don't know the word for it, patch it over to us, and they can talk to us if they're just having a hard time, or their cat died or something, something that dispatch could could refer to us. And we also have people that just call to talk to us. You know, like last week, I talked to somebody for an hour. She just needed to talk, and I'm here. He's here. He's gotten to do some amazing talks with some veterans,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
that have served our country. And then they come in here too. I mean, that's just an honor to have them in Judy's house and listen to their war stories and what they've done to make our world better.
And you know, like she was saying, you know, I was talking about that 85-year-old lady. I'll tell you a little bit more about the community. We stayed 48 hours with her, and she became somebody that all 8 of us immediately loved. She would sit there in that chair, and I would tell her, "Hey, are you hungry?" She said, "Yeah, I want Mexican food," knowing that I you know what I mean, I was going to get her anything she wanted, so I already got her some food. But the thing about it is, my wife would take her in shower because she couldn't use the restroom on her own. But this happened like 7 or 8 times, and I kept telling myself, man, I believe my wife is really patient, but I don't know if this is going to blow a fuse here. But my wife never changed, and the people here never changed. I actually sat in this chair and watched the staff do what they do. But I'm going to tell you one thing right now. She lived in where? Washington.
Was it Portland?
Portland, Oregon.
Yeah.
And how are we going to get her back? Well, I'm going to tell you this. The community came, Crossroads, 3 staff, put her in her van. A staff drove her all the way. 2 other staffs went with them to bring the staff back. And when the lady arrived at her house, they had Porsches, Mercedes Benzes, and everything in the driveway covered. Mansion, not a little house, mansions, rich. She walked right in her house. And the whole part about it
We
is,
haven't seen her since.
you cannot tell that they said we tell her she can't go, and you know what she does? She'll take money and she'll go buy a car, any car, and she'll go. And she walked up to people and said, "Hey, you want to sell your car?" And they said, "Yeah. Here, I'll give you $2,000. And Dude said, "Okay." And then she ended up in Susanville in the van.
Wow.
That's how she traveled. But I'm gonna tell you one thing she said that'll never leave. She said, "I feel safer here than I do in my church." And that's what the staff took with them, was that. And I said, "Good job." I mean, I even went about tacos for all the staff, and hey, good job, and you guys are amazing and all that. And that's what made me turn from professionalism with staff to, man, I can tell my staff I love them and I'm okay.
And our staff too, they came in to help us with her without us asking. And they came to just do their part, and they didn't even want to get paid. They came in on the off hours here, and that's just the kind of staff that we have. They just are
So give
here
back.
to help
Give
in
them back.
whatever way we can. Yeah. So it's not just a job to us. It's more than that.
It's your life.
It is.
It's your
And their
community's life.
life. Yes.
Well, Mike, you said you kicked back and nobody changed except you, Trump.
Correct. And that's what it was. You know, I mean, we know, man. You know, after doing 37 years, you know, I was in the shoe for 35 years, and I didn't even go through nothing. I didn't go through no debriefing, telling on anything. I just said, you know what, I'm done. I quit, and I went to the yard. And you want to do whatever you want to do, go ahead, man. But the bottom line is, watch this. This is where I'm at today. From that, I know today. I tell my wife I could turn the other cheek. It doesn't make me a punk or things that we always were sissy or this.
No.
It makes me a grown man, because the whole part about it is I don't have no problems with nobody. I don't want to hurt nobody. But the people that have problems with me, it's because of mental issues, and that's what we go to right away, saying, you know what, man, this is not even my problem, but I'm going to help them. You know, and like she said, her boss Tiffany is amazing with us and everybody. She's amazing, man. It's just amazing the bosses that we have in the seats right now. Barbara Longo is another one that supports us fully, man, and it's amazing. You know,
It's a difference.
and it's movement. It's movement. You know, me and my wife just got. We're going to become mental health board advisory board members.
Yeah, we get
You know,
sworn in.
and they asked us.
Yeah.
You know, and here we go. You know?
Woo woo.
You know, so that's the thing that's happening. You know what I mean?
I've shown up and seen you before.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember you
Yeah.
on.
Well, we went to Sacramento.
Yes.
I
I
remember,
can see you
yeah.
over
Yeah.
there in Sacramento.
No.
I didn't even get to run into anybody.
Right? And there was so many people.
Yeah.
It was a big thing.
I know we were at a table over here at the end.
I know.
We acted like we were a big company. We said, "Is this the Judy's house table?" And there was only two of us.
I remember looking out into the sea of people and seeing so many faces I had never
Yeah.
seen, and there was no way I could meet them all.
Yeah.
It was amazing to see, and how many people raised their hands first time they've been to like a conference like that. It was
Yeah.
pretty cool. But well, I have two more questions. They're easy, I think. But one is just for people that are watching that have never experienced living in Northern California, a small area.
Mhm.
Just about, we talk a lot on the state level about hospital beds. And I was trying to explain to my team on the way up here, like, there aren't hospital beds for psych hospitals up here. There's very few. There's Redding, a couple of, Redding, Yuba City, and then Sacramento. Is that the case? Like, could you just elaborate on what it's like here? If somebody gets put on a hold, they determine, like, there's nothing, we can't send them to Judy's house, they're not ready for that, they're really a danger to themselves or others. What happens?
They have to wait to be accepted in another county and take a long trip in a vehicle to a stabilization unit, to hospitalization. We don't have any in-house beds here.
And what's the closest? It's about how long of a drive for the closest inpatient unit?
2 hours minimum.
And
Minimum.
is that a county car that you take, or how do they get there?
County
car?
car. Yep. Caged county car.
Wow.
Yeah.
Caged county car. Yep. For safety. Yeah. 2 hours minimum. Some up to 6 hours or more, depending on where they go.
And that staff has to go all that way back and forth. Do they
Drivers.
go as
Two
pairs?
drivers.
Yeah.
Two drivers
Depending
have
on
to go.
availability, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
I've gone because they were lacking drivers, or drivers have just been overextended or whatever. I've gone on a couple of transports just to make sure they get there. But yeah,
Yeah.
it's a long. It's I'm not sure that that's a great experience for them to already be in crisis and working on stabilization and have to travel like that.
Like that, yeah.
That's
Just-
really a last resort. I mean,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
Do they have to choose to do that, or do they need your permission?
Sometimes they get.
Who?
The client.
So if a person's on a 5150, they have no choice to choose
Right.
anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's no such thing as voluntary going that far, right? Like, you're not going to send someone 2 hours away voluntarily if they want to go to the hospital, right?
There's not, I don't really know how that works, to be honest with you, as far as voluntaries go, but a lot of times, and then, and the hard part is sometimes our people will sit up there for days, at least the 72 hours, and then have to be reevaluated, and that's frowned upon, to have to be in, in a room in the ER, and plus our ER isn't built for that. It isn't, I mean, they accommodate the best that they can, and we do the best that we can to get them out there, because that's the point. It's all about that individual and getting them the help that they need as fast as possible.
For sure. I've experienced that exact scenario with my daughter. The ER having to travel to Santa Rosa from Sacramento
Yeah.
to be hospitalized.
Yeah, I feel like there's even less beds for kids, right? Like, even.
Way
Oh,
less.
yeah, way less,
Yeah.
And I kind of knew the answer. It's kind of.
Yeah.
But I just wanted to hear it from you guys too, because I used to do the coordination of hospitalization for Butte County. So, and we have more options there, because we have an inpatient unit, but still, it's, And,
Yeah, it's tough for sure.
Yeah. My last question, before we let you get to your day, your shift, is if you could say, and you can, none of you or all of you can answer this if you want, but if you could say one thing to the state government about what your needs or priorities are, what would you say? Like, is there something that you want or need in Susanville that would be?
I would like to say, help the homeless people, because there's a lot of good people out there that are homeless. And it's not because they think they're on drugs or alcohol, man. There's a lot of Vietnam veterans out there that are homeless. You know what I mean? Give us some more safe place homes for the homeless. That's what I would like.
Actual housing.
Actual housing.
Because we have a really great housing department now who's working the best that they can, but you can't house people in places that don't exist.
you can't, in dwellings that don't exist. So affordable, adequate
Yeah.
housing is definitely, necessary here. I mean, for me, on the other side, on the professional side, I would love to see a hospital come in. I would love to see a hospital come in, but then you're working with other, there's a lot of, I imagine there's a whole lot of red tape to getting a hospital in a very rural community.
Yeah. And I'd have to say I agree with both of them, and a lot of it's just funding. We need the finances to help more people and take that pressure off of our community.
But I know God takes care of what's His. I know that for a fact. And I'll say that to a congressman or whoever. God takes care of what it is. It's not on you. God's going to tell you what to do. So all you got to do is listen.
I would say, no.
Well, gosh. Did you want to ask anything?
I don't have any questions. I just really love your guys' t-shirts on there. 2 words, you matter. Everything you guys have been saying is like, you guys are accepting for all. Like, hearing you guys talk, I've been over here like holding back my tears because people in rural counties, they need a house like this for when they don't want to be put on 5150 holds and going through that whole process. Like, if they know about Judy's house, maybe they can come before they're escalated. And your partnership that you have with the police department, the county, like all of that's admirable. And I hope other communities listening and watching this can learn from you guys on how to build that partnership and just be for the people. It's really telling.
She's really modest. Her and her family are in Blythe, small town.
Yeah, tiny. We're in tiny
They
town.
started an organization called Peace from Chaos, and we're going to feature them later on. But
Yeah, they're like one of us.
I was like, you're gonna love Susanville. You're gonna identify.
I'm like
Susanville.
crying over here, PTSD. But like when you're talking about traveling 2 hours there, in my head, I'm like, well, how do they get back when they go out there and get dropped off? Because we experience the same thing. Our hospitals, yeah,
they count me back.
and that's wonderful. In our town, like they get dropped off there, and we're building our relationship still with the county. It's being built.
And see, we get a lot of people in here that are watchers that are displaced. We get people that come in here from other cities. I mean, for Oregon, I'm telling you right now,
It's beautiful.
Tennessee, that want to go home to their parents, and we have a Crossroads Ministry. Our director will send them home.
If they get stuck here for whatever reason, we'll help
She will send them home.
And you guys are on there. I'm sure you guys just changed their life, like that small act.
Oh, nice.
Yep. I'm working on some bigger ones.
Oh, that's way cool.
How awesome.
Take me and my son.
Yep.
That's way cool.
Yeah, so this is a national sport called Belegarth.
Belegarth.
Yeah. And it's a derivative from River, I believe it's called. And it's, again, similar thing.
Cool.
But yeah, it's really simple, things you get the hang of. Yeah, that one's the axe.
That's really cool.
That one I don't let the kids use because they'll knock themselves out.
Yeah, you can get some leverage with that one.
Yeah. So basically how it works is if you lose 2 limbs, you're dead. If you lose your torso, you're dead. And that's basically it. You just sort of pick it up as you go. Another thing with swords like this, just like with a real sword, the edges would kill you, but the flat doesn't. So if I hit you like that doesn't count. But if I hit you like that, it does. These ones also all have stabbing tips. They have extra foam on the tips so that it doesn't hurt when you stab people. So that's also a valid move. Yeah. If you want to just pick up a weapon.
So cool.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh yeah.
And you sewed all these and did them all?
Yep.
Like
So it's foam and fiberglass. So then you just put a bunch of stuff on the outside, rope for the handle, sew up some covers.
Wow.
This one's PVC and pool noodle. It's a lot cheaper quality, but it's a lot easier for this one. No, this one's actually heavier.
Really?
Fiberglass is actually lighter than PVC.
Oh,
You can feel that's got some heft to it. used to do like baton when I was little. Yeah. See?
Oh yeah, it sounds.
Yeah, that's fun. Like, yeah, I don't know, like this one. Yeah, it's a little more cumbersome than a baton. Yeah.
So how long did you say you've been doing this?
I've been doing this for about 2 months now, a little less than that.
Yeah.
So,
And-
and I'll be here for another year, and by that time I hope to have just enough people coming that I can pass this on to someone and they can keep it going when I go back to college.
So awesome. And what got you started?
Well, about a year ago now, I was at college at BYU in Provo, and we had a group there called the Knights of the Y, and they did the same sport, and I absolutely fell in love with it because I'm a nerd. I really love swords and all the flashy colors and everything. And when I got there and I did the sword fighting, I found I loved that, but more than that, I loved the people. And we'd go and we'd hang out outside of swords all the time. We'd have movie nights, we'd go to ice cream, and they helped me find just sort of a home away from home. They made me feel like I belonged, and they helped me a lot with my mental health. And I think we helped each other a lot, so it was super great. And they're still going strong out in Provo, and I figured when I came here for my service mission, I wanted to give something back to the community, something that people could find a home in, find some belonging, find some joy, get out of the house a bit, blow off some steam with the swords, and most importantly, have friends and have fun, and just have a community like that. I feel like we need more of those in our lives.
Yes, I love that. And this one's so different that you just bring in all kinds of different people to come and do sword fights with you, no matter what neighborhood they come from or the age range. I think it's
it's
acceptable
pretty
for all.
accessible to all. I've got some cheaper weapons, some smaller ones. These ones are made out of pool noodle and PVC, so if they break, I don't worry as much about them, so I can let the kids use these ones. We got some shields. We're gonna have some bigger ones, but the small ones are perfect for kids to use. And there are some young adults like me out in BYU. Everyone was a young adult, but we found some older people and some younger people, and everyone just loves it. You know, swords aren't an age restricted sort of a thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
And they're all foam, so there's no armor required. There's no special protection, nothing. It's all just fun and games.
And you made all of these yourself?
I made a decent amount of these, I'd say. So this one was my first sword, the first one I ever made. And his name is Soup. He won that gloriously in battle. I spilled some soup on him once. It was pretty awesome. Some of these ones I bought at this little outlet called Shielded Empire that's based out in Provo. I bought about 10 of these to help get me started. At the time, they were Christmas presents for my family, but when I decided that I wanted to do this for the community, they really, really gratefully just let me have them back, at least for a little bit. All these other weird looking ones, those ones I've all built.
Yeah, that was so cool. Awesome. And how often do you do this here at the park?
We're trying to meet every Tuesday and every Thursday. And Tuesdays, it's around 6. I'm starting to think maybe a little bit earlier just because the sun's going down sooner. Thursdays, 5:15ish. And again, we're just going to see with schedules. I know people like to show up here for soccer practice and stuff, and I definitely don't want to infringe. So the Thursday is a little flexible.
Yeah.
But we try to meet at least twice a week.
Awesome. Well, before I turn the video off, do you want to introduce yourself and
yeah, sure.
and or any message you want to send to all of our peers from California?
Yeah, absolutely. So my name is Sister Nielsen. I am a service missionary for the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints right now. And this means that I get to spend my entire life for the next year just helping people out, doing whatever I can to help them to feel kind of God's love, feel the joy of connection with Him and with His children. We're all God's children, and as such, we should treat each other with respect and understanding and love. And being able to foster a community of mental health advocacy helps a lot with the love, and the love that we can feel for each other, for ourselves, and for the world around us. And so, if there's one thing I could leave with all of you today, is that God loves you, and even if I don't know you, I love you as well.
So sweet. Thank you, Sister Nelson.